When I first embarked on my journey for my article on Chicago's Jewish community, I really wasn't sure what to expect. As my plane touched down at Chicago O'Hare International Airport, I began to think about the people and places I would see. What story will they tell?
Well, I'm a reporter for a new publication. We're doing a story on the city of Chicago, the Jewish community. You know, most people will tell you when you want to find out about a city, you got to go to the heart of the city. I'm trying to do something a little different. I want to go to the soul of the city.
My plan was simple: to meet as many prominent community members as possible and get their take on the expansive growth of the Jewish community here in Chicago. I encountered many people that day and discovered that everyone's story had a common denominator.
I came out to Chicago in 1994 for the Chicago Community Kollel. I was in the Kollel for 3 years. I've had a couple of stops here in Chicago of different organizations I've been involved with, and each one of them, there was a Kollel member, a former Kollel member that was a part of it. You know, Danny Deutsch and Moshe and the Chicago Torah Network. When I was at Eric Crown Hebrew School, it was Rabbi Samber who became principal. I was a Rebbe there with my brother Rebbeim.
Through the rest of my day, I kept meeting Kollel alumni in various leadership positions who felt that the experience they had in the Kollel is still a strong part of them today.
Baruch Hashem, the opportunity that many of the Rebbeim had here in Eric Crown to have learned in the Kollel and to have absorbed that environment of real dedication, real serious seeking a closeness with HaKadosh Baruch Hu, that stays with them, and they draw on that all the time.
Rabbi Samber was busy running the school, so I was shown around by his assistant, Rabbi Kirshner. Along our travel through the halls and classes, he pointed out many of the Rebbeim who were also Chicago Kollel alumni. All my friends and family from the East Coast had made me promise that I would bring something back from Chicago for them. Something very specific. There it is. 7 salamis, 15 pastramis, 27 hot dogs. Okay, that should do it. My mission accomplished. I proceeded with my reporting.
Yeshiva Tiferes Tzvi prides itself in Rabbeim that go from the classroom back to the Beis Medrash every day. And that's what we find from the Kollel Yungalites. They come, they teach, they're very warm and devoted to their Talmidim, and then their Talmidim are sure to see them back in the Beis Medrash at night. That's a beautiful thing.
I decided next to meet with some of the local Rabbanim, starting with Rabbi Fine.
Chicago is known as one of the out-of-town communities, but that's for what it has, not for what it's missing. I feel that the Kollel really created the fertile ground and the platform necessary to develop everything that I needed to develop in order to be able to create this Mokum Torah and Tefillah.
The CRC is an organization I'd heard of even on the East Coast, so I figured I'd get a first-hand impression of the work they do.
Happily, of our last 4 hires, 3 of them were from the Lakewood Kollel. The Lamaisis of our latest hire was Rabbi Niehaus. We have Rabbi Lando, who's fantastic, who specializes in the dairy. And of course we have Rabbi Oppenheimer, who's a world-class Talmud Chacham, fantastic, also knows how to talk to people. He's in charge of our bakeries.
The effects of this Kollel and its alumni were really beginning to impress me. I decided to head to a local Jewish professional hotspot called the Wi-Fi Building. I had a quick lunch, gathered my thoughts, and prepared for some more meetings. Before Mincha, I was treated to an inspiring shir given by Rabbi Feiner, who is known for his daily teleconference halacha shir, among other things. And what do you know? He also learned in the Chicago Community Kollel. As my day continued, I met more and more people in leadership positions in the community, influencing hundreds of people daily who all learned in the Kollel. Amazing. My last school for the day was the Weitzner Cheder.
The Rabbeim here are high caliber Talmidei Chacham. They would be fit to be Magidei Shiurim or Roshei Kollel. And they have chosen to learn with the Ingenious Productions. That's what they want to do with their lives. They're idealists. They're here simply to invest in the future of Klal Yisrael.
Next, I met up with Rabbi Cohen, the Rav of Adas Yeshurun, one of the original Kollel members. He had nothing but praise for the Kollel.
Without my 6 years in the Kollel, it would have been impossible for me to be a Rav. I was zeicha to learn for 6 years in the Kollel. We learned all the Masechtas that a person would need to become a Rav L'Halacha. The Kollel's impact on the city of Chicago is just unbelievable. Unbelievable.
I had time for one more interview and decided to meet Rabbi Gross, the Rav of Shaarei Tzedek, a thriving shul, which despite the late hour still had people sitting and learning.
The Kollel brought me here to Chicago, and I was privileged to learn there for 6 years. I think it's safe to say that I wouldn't be the Rav of the shul, and the shul would be here if not for the Kollel.
A certain picture was beginning to emerge, and as my one day in the life of Chicago was coming to a close, I knew where my final stop would be. I saw so many familiar faces that I had met through my day touring the Chicago Jewish community. They were all welcoming and inviting, and all seemed so comfortable and at home in this bustling Beis Medrash. I had a chance to talk with Rabbi Moshe Francis, who shared with me his perspective on the Kollel's success over the past 31 years.
I remember Chicago when I came here 31 years ago. When I see it today, it's not the same city. The alumni have certainly had an impact on so many very, very important areas in our city. They're trained in how to learn, they're trained in how to give a shir, they're trained in how to interact with people. Balabatim come into the Kollel, they have to interact. Many of them give shiurim in different shuls, and they give shiurim to different types of people. There's so many different things that they do, and all of these things have an effect on them.
I now had my story. This Kollel, started 31 years ago with a few younger light, was now a radiant beacon of Torah, generating growth across the city in ways unimaginable. It is something that everyone must witness for themselves, and a true inspiration I will take back home with me.